So in this video, I want to explain the one reason and the main reason why everybody that I perform hair transplant surgery on comes to see me. But this is my personal opinion, and it's just after, thousands of consultations and doing this day in, day out, is that people usually come in for a couple of reasons. If you really, really get down to the root of it, human beings, we are social creatures. We exist in groups. We function in groups. Our whole life is made around groups. And it's very important that we belong and we are accepted by people around us. And especially in your earlier, more formative years, that really is very important for how we date, how we are observed in our careers, how we're even seen on Instagram when we take pictures and things. Before they even talk to you, they want to look at your Instagram page. And it's ridiculous, but that's how much the pendulum has swung. And so underneath all of this is power. People want to feel powerful. And not in a narcissistic way where I have power over you, but people want to feel that they have power and control. As we get older, we want to retain that power, that we can still be the best attractive partner for our other half. In business, a lot of young men come to see us, or even in the middle of their careers, because they want to be ahead of their colleagues. They want to present themselves better. They want to look better on camera. And underneath this, yes, they want to feel more confident, but it's because they want to have more power and they want to be ahead of their peers. Or they want to be better than what they were 3-4 years ago. They want to have more power. And so whether we like it or not, this is the human condition, and it's not a bad thing. And obviously it needs to be taken with a nuance, because sometimes we see people who are in very unhealthy relationships or unhealthy situations where they want to do surgery for the wrong reasons because they've lost a lot of power. Their other half might be not so agreeable or kind in the relationship towards them, and they feel that having a procedure done will give them more power, more control back in the relationship. And what I've observed is no matter how much you tell people and explain to people, maybe you should hold off for a couple of years, or sometimes even refuse to do it, you can't change people until they're ready to change. I think it's important to really know yourself and why are you doing what you're doing. And many times people won't know at the time. They'll only know 3 to 5 years afterwards. I mean, just to talk very personally, I got into a lot of these things personally in my late 20s. I was living in London, a very competitive space. And it's a talent hub for the world. And for every one of me, there was 60 others. I could easily be replaced, especially in the big private hospitals there. So you really want to look better than your colleagues. You want to perform better. You want to put in more hours. You want all these small things to give you more power. And also, you might start doing more skincare, more lasers for your face, or you're like, oh my gosh, my under eyes, they're starting to look very hollow. I need to be 2 years ahead of my peers. And you'll start on this small journey. And now that I'm 45, and obviously I've been around the block, what makes me sad, or what makes me sort of quite stoic, is that when I look at all these things and now coming on my journey, I realize it was me all along. That person, that young man, was me all along. But I never just saw him the way I see him now. It's about the fact that we are all the same people that we were before the hair transplant. You were the same guy when you were looking 60% more bald. You were the woman before you had larger breasts. But now that you had it, sometimes if you can have that confidence back, where you can stop seeing that as such an issue, and with the passage of time, maybe I think sometimes it's a form of therapy whereby you're thinking, now I've got it, I don't need to be so obsessed on it. And I can really now, see see the trees and the woods instead of sort of looking at, everything with such microscopic glasses. It's like the guy, the young guy who always wants the six pack. And he's like, when I have a six pack, I'm going to have a girlfriend. My life's going to be amazing. I'm going to be so happy. And when he gets there, he realizes, I'm still the same guy. And he might have a beautiful girlfriend now, an amazing job. And I see this a lot with my patients, like in their late 20s, because of dating. And when I see them after like 3-4 years, they might come for a little top up or they might come in for coffee. I'll say like, how are you? How's the dating going? And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I can't keep them away. And they'll look, and obviously their face looks better, their body's got better. It's like a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. But what happens is oftentimes they'll say, but I'm still the same fat kid. But people just see me differently now, but I'm still the same guy. And I think that's really, really important, actually, and one thing I've learned. And I was guilty as charged. But it's nice to see that as you get older. And I don't necessarily think it's the wrong thing to be like this. I think everyone has to go on their own journey. But the question you asked me before I rambled so much was, what did I learn in the 15 years? I think the best story in terms of psychology is learning just why do you come in here? It's not because you want to have hair. It's because you want to feel something. You want to feel something within you that gives you more power. You want to be ahead of your peers. You want to have healthier relationships. And sometimes it's just important to get down to, the sort of very, very base things. And the last thing I've learned about hair transplants, well, gosh, there's many, many things about hair transplants. The last thing I learned about hair transplants is if you embark on a hair transplant or any type of cosmetic journey, don't think of it as just, I'm going to go and get a hair transplant and get more hair. And wow, great. That may be the case. Some patients are coming in, they're getting married, or they have big milestones in their life, like a graduation. They want to work towards that, or a big wedding. And that's great. But once again, they want to look great in pictures. They want to have, a lot of power around this. But I think what you learn is taking care of yourself, whether it be in the gym, your face, your hair. It's a lifestyle. But people who truly want to embark upon this journey, if you want to feel a certain way, if you want to identify in a certain way, it is a labor of love and it takes work. It takes a lot of work. People sometimes will say, oh my gosh, you spend so much time on your hair and your face. But I'm like, you know what? I actually enjoy it. Not for anybody else at this point, for myself. If I was on a jungle right now, I'd still want to look my best self because I do it for myself. In the past, I didn't. I was very obsessed with how I'm seen. But that's a nice journey to come through. And I really hope some of my younger patients will take this into consideration and just realizing that it's going to be fine. You're not going to, this is not going to be the be all and end all. We can fix the hair. We can fix many, many things in life. But the main thing is to realize that, just be you and go on your own journey. And in time, everything will pop into place in terms of how things are supposed to be. Is that fine for that question? Okay, good.